Hey, who wants to learn? Woo! I can't hear you. Who wants to learn? Yes. Did you know between 5,000 and 12,000 people earn their CISSP certificate each year? How many of you in this room have your CISSP certificate? Awesome. And those of you that don't, did you know Raleigh ISSA offers a CISSP training course later in the year? It's fantastic. I have both been a participant in it and been an instructor. So if you're looking for your CISSP, I highly recommend it. Today we're going to talk about 5 proven methods to sharpen your focus and accelerate learning. Let's see which way. Does this work?
Try clicking back on the PowerPoint.
Okay. No. Technical difficulties. Thank you. All right. My name is Cyber Christy. So a little bit about me. What makes me qualified to give this talk on learning? Well, first I taught at New Horizons, then I taught at EC Council, and then I created my own YouTube channel. I was teaching at New Horizons when I had my first kid, and I realized I didn't want to spend 3 hours in a classroom anymore, but I love teaching people. So along came the YouTube channel. And so through there and these different functions, I've taught classes like Azure Fundamentals, CISSP, Communications and Cybersecurity, Security X, formerly CASP, and Security Plus, as well as other topics within cybersecurity and technology. Oh, wrong way. So sections. Today we're going to cover different sections in learning. So it's not just about what is your learning path, it's how do you get there? What are the principles, what are the techniques that allow you to succeed faster, harder, quicker, that get you into that next role, that next promotion? What gets you there, right? So who is the most important person in the world? Let me hear you. You, louder. Who is the most important person in this world? You are. That's right. Whenever you're looking at what your next certificate is, what your next training is, think, I am number one, no matter what. It doesn't matter who's in the room, what they've accomplished, what they've done. You are number one. Who do you need to observe? Don't dwell on, but observe. So number one is the past you. Leave unproductive habits behind, right? What did you do? Did you watch 10 hours of TV every day? Was it very successful? Did you learn a lot? Maybe you learned a lot about somebody. You know, try something new. What have you done that's new lately? Anthony, what have you done that's new? Anthony came and hang out. Who's is this first? Yes, Andy.
I built a Meshtastic pager.
Ooh, a Meshtastic pager. That sounds amazing. What about anybody else? What have you done that's new?
3D printed arcade machine I built with a Pi.
That is pretty cool. A 3D printed arcade machine. So try something new. Practice something. They say if you practice something 7 times, you'll learn it. Right? Can we speed up that 7 times? Do we need to practice something 7 times? Do I need to hack the same box 7 times before I really learn how to hack it? Right? Then, the person who has what you want, right? Do they have more money? Do they have a bigger network? Do they have more technical knowledge? Have they been in the game more? Do they know more about cybersecurity in the business? What do they have? Study them. How do they conduct? How do they make their movements? I remember coming up as a junior leader, and my boss had this command presence. People were afraid of him. And I would get on the call, and I might not say anything, but I would listen, and I would study and figure out his moves so that I could learn to have that same command presence and dominate the room. So it may not necessarily be technical that you're trying to learn, and it might be, right? There are some super smart people that I work with, and I just watch them work. I watch their techniques, their tactics, their procedures. What do they do? What do they sacrifice, right? Because if you're adding something new, you're sacrificing something else. Is it that 10 hours of TV that you're sacrificing? Maybe, but you got to think about that. Now, the person who says, you can't do it. Who in this room has ever had anybody say, you can't do it? I sure have. Like many of you out there. They say, you'll never make it. You aren't smart enough. You come from the wrong part of the town. I remember teachers in high school telling us, you come from a farming town. There's nothing you can do. You're stuck. You're just going to be here forever, right? Now look at me. I'm on the stage with you guys, you all. So, the person who says you can't do it, maybe they're just jealous, right? So, what's holding them back? And let's not do that. Environment. Who thinks your environment is important to how you study? Yes. Somebody tell me, what do you think a key element of a good environment to study is? Yes?
Comfortable, quiet, optimal for focusing.
Yes, comfortable, quiet, optimal for focusing.
Interesting, what I noticed is when I'm in an environment where everyone else is studying, I study better.
Yes. People around you can make you study better or study worse.
Organized environment.
Organized, yes. Yes.
A motivator.
A motivator. I love motivators. I love to put myself around motivators. I saw another hand up over here. Yes.
No distractions.
No distractions.
It kind of goes with organized, but a clean space.
Yes.
A messy space is a messy mind.
Yes, very true. A messy space is a messy mind. That's the best way to put it. So a clean room, like you guys already said, better focused, improved cognitive function, enhanced motivation. I can do it. You can do it. We can do it. Less mental effort. You work less. You learn more. You work less. You reduce distraction. You're 15% more productive, and you get better sleep if you have a clean environment. So not only are you learning better, learning faster, you're getting more sleep, which helps in your memory retention. Environment shapes your outcome, right? What's your vision? What's your goal? What is your plan? How are you going to action on it? And then what is your success? Your success looks different than my success. And your success looks different than their success, right? So like you all said, you caught it. Sit near high performers. Performers equals performance boost. Sit near low performers, and your production can drop 30%. I even heard some people on YouTube saying your production could drop to 94% if you're around that person who just doesn't get it. They don't want it. They're negative. They don't want to learn. They just don't want to progress. So like you said, you all called it out. Surround yourself with people you admire, whether they're knowledgeable, they have command sense, they're good at public speaking, they position themselves, they have style, right? One of my goals this year is to learn some style. Maybe they dress well, they have a fancy car, they have a beautiful family, or they have poise. It could be anything, right? Surround yourself with those people, and you'll subtly pick up those habits. And those habits will push into your learning abilities because you're learning techniques from other people that have had success in one way or another. So, like the last slide said, success and laziness is contagious. 30%, that's huge. If you have somebody on your team, somebody you're sitting next to, that laziness is contagious. So let's bring everybody up, let's help everybody be successful, and let's win together. So traits of highly successful people. Somebody give me a trait. Driven. Perseverance. Confident. Goal-oriented, yes.
They're able to adapt and fail.
They're able to adapt and what?
From failure.
Adapt from failure, yes. If you have never failed, have you had true success? Probably. But you get much, much greater success if you have failed. What's another one?
Bouncing back from failures.
Yes, bouncing back from failures.
Inspire others.
Yes, inspire others. You know what I see? A big one right in this room. You all have the traits. They say the top CEOs network 5 hours a month minimum, right? You're here doing activities that the top CEOs do. You know, those activities lead to success. Success leads to continual learning because you always keep progressing. Adaptability. This is one of my favorites, right? And we'll talk about certificates in a little bit, and this is where adaptability is really going to come into. But new opportunities come all the time. You're in your job. You know, when I started out, I worked at Cisco as a systems engineer. And then I went to threat hunting. And then I went to red team. And then I went to dynamic application security testing and secure code and WAF and pen test and all kinds of other stuff, right? So you got to be able to adapt. And each one of those new adaptions, guess what it comes with? Learning, more studying, understanding what it is that you're getting into, right? Because if you can adapt, not only do you succeed on a level where you're learning, but you succeed in business. You succeed in your job, you succeed in your company, and others will see that you can adapt to new situations. And you all called it out already, opportunistic. And one of my favorite ones is admit you're not knowledgeable, right? On interviews, I've interviewed hundreds of people. And if somebody comes in and they try to tell me an answer that's just totally wrong and they won't even say, well, you know, based on logic or this, they're just like, that's the answer. I'm like, nope, sorry. Maybe you get the answer wrong and you tell me it's wrong. I'm going to push you past your limits to see where it is that you're going. And I want to see how you react. So tell me you're not wrong. Or tell me you're wrong. You don't know. That's okay. Try it anyways. You know, hey, I don't know what this answer is, but this is what I would guess. And then learn from it. Rituals. Studying is all about rituals. When can you study? When do you learn best? For me, my time is in the morning, right? If I'm studying for some sort of certificate, I'll replace my YouTube time with study time. And I get up at 5:30 in the morning, and I study till 6:15 when my kids wake up. So it's about those rituals, morning rituals. Some people choose to do meditation, exercise. Exercise releases endorphins. Endorphins are happy people. Happy people have endorphins, remember more. So when I was in the Army, I used to ride a stationary bicycle, and I would study my flashcards, and I would study for the board. And that would help me learn. And so same with technology. There's so many apps. You can just get the study questions on the app. You can get it on your phone. You can go to the bicycle. You can go to the gym. You can make use of your time. And then time block. So many people I see struggle. This is a big one, especially with people new into cybersecurity. They come in, and there's all these different asks, and there's so many different tasks. How many people do the same thing every day, all day long at their job? You do? What do you do?
Tech support.
Tech support? Nice, but you have like all kinds of tickets coming in, and you're always working it, right? And you're trying to figure out how to get that study time in. And you may not be able to in tech support, but a lot of jobs, or even in your home life, right? You block it, like when are you going to study? What time periods are you going to study? You do that every day. Your body gets into that habit, and then it doesn't slip away. Because for so many people, they're like, I'm going to do this, but they don't time block it. Time blocking is super important. And then take breaks while you're studying. If you're just studying for hours on end, at some point your brain's going to shut down. When I studied my CISSP, anybody hear the game Clash of Clans?
Yes.
It's like a 3-minute game. So I would study for 15, 20 minutes, and I'd play a 3-minute game, and then I'd go back to studying. You know, I had to have discipline to make sure I didn't play more games, but that 3-minute study just totally brought me away from whatever I was studying. And they say, you remember the first and the last thing you studied the most, right? So breaks are super important because they make your brain focus on different areas. In evening routines, what do you do in the evening? Do you read a book? Do you play with your family? Like, can you add study time in there, right? What is your evening routine? And then how do you go to sleep, right? For me, I can't read a book or study right before bed because guess what? I'm going to dream about it. So I have to do mine early in the morning, but you might not be that way. So figure out what routines work for you. Trial and error. Try time blocking in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, right? Figure out your study schedule that works best. Now we're getting into training. What's your favorite method to learn?
Video course or listening instead of reading from the book.
Yes, video course and listening instead of reading from the book. Others, yes?
Hands-on.
Hands-on, yes. You agree?
Yes.
I do like hands-on, yep. And listening. And reading? Yes, reading's good too. Other ways. Who else?
I'm a visual learner.
You're a visual learner?
I would rather read than hear.
Yes, yes.
Kind of like visual learning, but I like seeing like examples of what I need to be doing or learning.
Yes.
That helps me retain the information because it shows exactly how I apply it or how it would be applied.
Right, some real life examples, real life situations, yes.
Yeah, be able to explain it back to somebody, so,
Teaching,
yeah, so getting to where you can do the project, teach it back.
yes. Do one, see one, do one, run. Or crawl, walk, run, yes.
I like to do the intensive boot camps and get it all packed in and go take the test.
Yeah, some people like to take their tests in 2 to 3 days. Me, I like to spread mine out over the course of a while because I like to make sure that I'm good, and maybe I get a little nervous on tests. Anybody else get nervous on tests?
Very much so.
Yes, yes. So luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So who in here is lucky? You all are. All of us. We're here preparing right now. We're learning the basics to prepare, and then when that opportunity arises, we are ready to take it, and that's what luck is we make our luck by preparing for that opportunity. Now, part of the reason I'm here is because people were asking the ISSA about training and what methods work best. What should I do? What things should I study? And there's 2 different things that I see most. Are you a generalist? Are you a specialist? Right? And when you're talking in cybersecurity, you'll often hear it called depth or breadth. I know these 2 words, when I first heard them, confused me. So when you're talking about studying, are you a generalist or a specialist? Who out here is a generalist? Who's a specialist? Good even mix. So if you're new or you're expanding to something else, maybe you want to try something new, right? You start broad, go big, right? Maybe you come over here to the 8 domains of the CISSP and you study a little bit about everything and you write down, what things do I like? That was interesting. I didn't like that one. No way, right? But I love this one. Maybe you take those 2 areas that you like and you narrow your focus and you start going deep. Like on LinkedIn all the time, people come to me and they ask me, well, hey, why can't I get that job? I'm applying for SOC jobs and risk jobs and pen test jobs, and I'm applying for this other job, and I'm using the same resume, and I'm just studying everything. And I look at their resume, and it has firewalls and red team and SOCs and like Cisco and Palo and everything else you can imagine. I'm like, what direction are you trying to go, right? And at the beginning, you might not know, and that's okay, right? And that's where a lot of us get started in help desk or SOC because we get to study different stuff. Then we narrow. We figure out which direction, and we start narrowing our studies. Pick up that book in that area that liked you. I can't tell you what your favorite area is that you liked. It's what made you the most interested. What made you come back to it? What did you dream about at night? And you expand your knowledge. You just keep going. And then maybe you have to shift a little bit along the way, right? For me, I'll go a little bit technical, and then I'm like, I got to go learn this management thing. And then I slide over here and I focus on management. And then I go back and I learn some technical. So it really kind of depends. Like those are kind of my two areas that I'm focusing between. But what are yours? What are your areas? What are you studying? Anybody? AppSec? Yes. Anybody studying AI? Yep. What are you studying?
I said it's more like AI is studying me.
AI studying you. Well, that could be too. Anybody else? Anybody else studying for a certificate right now?
Network pen testing.
Network pen testing. That's a good one. Yes.
ISSA plus.
Which one?
The
The
CISSA
CISSA
plus.
Plus? Okay, yep. Other ones. I saw another hand. Yes. CISSA. CEH. Yes. Anybody else? What about a book? Anybody reading a book that has some sort of the Scissors Journey or something else?
I mean, I'm reading a book, but I wouldn't say it's particularly cybersecurity.
It's not necessarily cybersecurity.
Me too. I'm reading something more spiritual, not so much related to my field of study yet.
But that spiritual can help you expand your capabilities, right?
Yes.
It helps you, right? Like the book I'm reading is a book on strategy. It's actually kind of awful, but I'm reading it. And it's got some good content, but it's awful to read, you know, and it's not always fun. So now let's talk about some of the certificate roadmaps out there. So I decided to start with Azure certificates. I used to teach everybody the CompTIA roadmap, right? I was all about teaching Security Plus, Net Plus, A Plus, you know, IT fundamentals, any of those. But I changed my mind. And the reason is $100 gets me my basic certification. I don't have to pay $300-400. It's $100. And I started with Azure over AWS because Azure calls a virtual machine a virtual machine. AWS calls it an EC2, right?
Yep.
So I started with Azure because they call it what it is. You know what it is. If you've been studying, it's easy, it's cheap, it's affordable, and if your company uses Microsoft, they might be part of the ISSA, which is the Enterprise Skills Initiative, which will get you half off your certificate. So you can start with different things like whatever you want to start with. Do you want to start with the AZ900? You know, that's the course I'm teaching right now. Or maybe you're learning about the AI 900, right? We just talked about AI. AI is everywhere, right? So I started watching the videos on the AI 900, and it talks about how you can use different image generations to find stuff, and you know, and so it's pretty interesting. And what else do you want to do, right? Do you want to be an administrator? You could learn that. Do you want to data? Are you into data, right? So those tracks, like even with the CISSP, we saw the different breakdowns on there. This also has different breakdowns. So whatever your field is, you can go find a basic or advanced certification in it, and it focuses in Azure. And the nice thing about Azure is you don't have to have noisy fans in your house trying to run all the servers. Who else had a noisy fan in their house and you're just like, be quiet just for a little bit? That's how you did, yep. So now I came to the CompTIA roadmap. So this one has even more options. So if you look over here on the left-hand side, you have different tracks based on what it is. You know, who's in information security in here? Who's working in network and cloud technologies? And you can work in multiple ones. Hardware services and infrastructure, anybody? Yeah. IT management and strategy? Yeah. Storage and data. Anybody work in the data lake? Web and mobile. Software development. How many of you are learning Python or know Python or other things, JSON, things that you got to code in? And training. Oh, what are we doing now? Training. We're learning about training. Yes. So you can see there's so many different tracks, and just looking around the room here, we had everybody represented from each one of these fields. So I can't tell you what is better. It's a feeling that you have when you study this information. But I can give you the tools to kind of take that feeling that you have, that want, that desire, what makes you happy, and show you a path to get there. And now we come to the AWS certificate pathways. So like Azure, AWS is also cheaper than CompTIA. Hate to say CompTIA, sorry. But they're cheaper. And they also have solutions architect, cloud security engineer, cloud data engineer, software development, systems administrator, cloud DevOps, and machine learning engineer, right? You can do whatever you want. And the pathways are laid out for you. Anybody in here follow any of the pathways already? Which one are you going for?
The AI and architects pathways.
AI and architect pathways. Anthony, you had a great roadmap that I didn't add on here. What was the title of your roadmap?
Paul Jeremy.
Paul Jeremy. So if you want to look up another roadmap that's really good, Paul Jeremy covers multiple different certificates. It's not vendor agnostic like these ones that I kind of showed you here. But there's tons of roadmaps out there, and they can help you make the decision, the right decision for you. So return on investment. I threw this slide in there. I know it's a business slide. Anybody ever see these in your office where you work or anything like that? So I put it in here because the return on investment is you. What investment are you putting in? What's the return to yourself? So think about it as when we come over here to level 1, measure satisfaction with the program and captures planned goals, right? Is the training, the book, the study cards, whatever, is it helping you achieve your goals that you set out for? Right? Level 2, measures changes in skills and knowledge. Do I see a difference? Hey, I learned this thing, and oh, right here. I know the answer. Pick on me, right? Do you know those skills? Can you go do it? What actions are you taking with these skills, right? I have it. Do I just sit behind my desk? Maybe they won't call on me, but I really want to use it, but I'm not going to tell them, right? What do you do with it? Do you show somebody how to use it? You all mentioned the crawl, walk, run, right? Teach somebody. You'll learn it even more. How do you use the knowledge to get ahead? What do you need for your next level? What does that look like for you? And then monetary benefits from learning something new. Can you get promoted? Can you be that senior engineer? Can you go into management? Can you go into some specialty area, right? What are the monetary benefits from that? Do you get a bonus from it? Do you file a patent and get a bonus? Do you, help somebody do something and they give you a bonus? Like, how can that help you? In every company and every person where you're at, that looks different. So what does that look like for you? And if you can kind of figure, maybe you start from the bottom. What do you want to achieve? And work backwards. And then set those little goals to get you there. And that brings us to goal setting. How many people have goals this year? Most of us. Anybody have any good goals you want to share? CCNA. To graduate, yes. I see a few nods to graduate, yep. So I made a few goals, and I didn't hit all of them. Like I made a goal to eat super greens every single day, and I was doing great. And then Amazon said my product was recalled, and I never bought a new one. So you don't always hit your goals, but goals are something good to strive for. We got this. You got this. I got this. New Year's resolution. What is it? All my goals? I have goals on 3x5 cards. They're on one of those like old school wood cheap boards that you just poke the poker in, and it's there. And when I achieve it, I can move my goals off. Who else has their goals displayed? Kind of. So when you're talking goals, goal best practices, write them down. You don't have to tell anybody yet. Maybe your goal's too big and you don't want somebody to tell you no and you just want to go until you get there. Use quantitative numbers. Have an accountability partner. Who's your accountability partner, right? My husband's mine, but maybe it's your best friend. Maybe it's your cat, your dog. Who's your accountability partner? Who's going to keep you there? And make big goals. Reach for the stars. So anybody notice I didn't put SMART goals on here? SMART, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Those are great goals, especially if you have some sort of monetary value tied to it. If I don't make my goals, I don't get my bonus. If I don't make my goals, I don't get a raise, right? Use your SMART goals. But think about it like this, right? If I set a goal, get $100,000, and I got $100,000, yes, good for me, right? But I set a goal for $1 million, and I failed, but I got $600,000 because I had that $1 million goal. Which one was better? Who wants the $1,000 or 100,000? Who wants the 600,000? So go big, go big. Whatever you want to study, go big. So I wrote some examples, because one of the things I see a lot is people don't necessarily, they're not precise, right? Study for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, that could be your goal. Could be 3 minutes, could be 5 minutes, could be a half hour. Be very specific in your goals so that you can achieve them. You know exactly what to choose. Binary. Is it true or is it false? Did you make it? Did you not? Right? If those are your goals, those are amazing. Write a report and share it on LinkedIn for every lab I complete. Who's doing Hack the Box or Try Hack Me or anything like that? Those are great ones, right? Now go write up a report. Show the world what you did. Go to Medium. Medium's free. You could get a paid one, but it's free. You can go share it on there. That's that one there. Watch a video 3 times per week on public speaking. Are you nervous? Does public speaking scare you? Do you have to public speak at work a lot, right? I run a cybersecurity program and I speak all the time. Some of my calls have over 100 people in it. And so I got to be able to talk to people. And if you've never done that before, maybe you need to go watch those videos. So that could be your goal. Read or listen to a book called Sell or Be Sold in 1 month. So I put that book in here. Even though it sounds like a sales book, doesn't it? It is a sales book, but it's a sales book on you, right? So along with your technical studies, work on you. So in Sell or Be Sold, it teaches you that if I said, hey, come to the movies with me, and you said, okay, let's go to the movies. I just sold you on the idea of coming to the movies with me. If you went on a date someplace, right? You sold that person on going on a date with you. And so it's all about perspective on turning the sales game to you, right? Because if you can sell yourself, you can sell yourself on the next level of education. Create a morning ritual and complete it for 7 days, right? Some people say, put your phone in your bathroom for the first 15 minutes and don't even touch it, right? Use that as your power time. Create a 3-minute YouTube video and share it on social media. Who thinks my first video was very good? No, not good, but I did it, right? But you learn so much. Like even if you learn a topic, back to the teach one, when you learn something, you always come up with something from it. And I don't know where the picture is. Oh, that's probably notes. So pull out your phone and open notes. Who has a notes app on their phone? Who takes notes on their notes app? I do, yeah. So what's going to be your outcome? What's your end result? What's the steps or habits you're going to create to get there? How are you going to learn the knowledge? And what are the personal traits that you want to obtain? Confidence, perseverance, creativity. Who needs creativity in their cybersecurity job? Yeah. It's probably one of the most creative jobs that you have out there, right? So all these things work, and it's not just how do I connect the technical pieces? What's the ports and protocols? Like, how do I connect them? What are they, right? It's not just about learning a language, which you do learn a new language, learning technology. Here you go. I had a video. So write down your goals. It's to learn. So now put a date on your calendar. When are you going to achieve your next thing? Somebody give me a date. When are you going to achieve something? March 27th. What happens March 27th? Ooh, GCI certification. Yes. Who's got another one? Any other dates out here? May 9th. What's happening May 9th?
I graduate.
Oh, yes. I love graduations. Who else? Anybody got any dates that you're planning for?
Beginning of June,
What's happening in June?
going back to school.
Awesome. Going back to school. See, these are some good dates, and they're all around learning. Now, we talked about learning and adding rituals and adding goals and working on yourself along with learning the technical and everything else. Go broad, go narrow, focus on just a few things. But what are you going to remove? You can't just keep adding without removing. Is there something, like those 10 TV hours that you watched that we talked about in the beginning, that you're going to remove? Anybody have an idea of something they would like to remove to replace it with something to make them better?
My poor sleep schedule.
Your poor sleep schedule? Yeah. We can improve that, yep. Playing a game? Yep, exactly. Anybody else? Doom scrolling, yes.
Say the same thing like YouTube, screen time.
Yes.
Get rid of that.
I heard somebody say today in a video I was watching, turn your phone to gray mode because you're less likely to stay on it because it's not as entertaining. So if doom scrolling is your thing, maybe you turn it on gray mode so you pick it up and you're like, oh, this is no fun, and you go back to studying, right? Lots of different things that we can do. So from this, before we get to the connect with me, what are you going to study next? What are your takeaways? What are you going to implement at home? Routine, yes. What else?
Public speaking.
Public speaking, yes, definitely.
Clean room.
Clean room, yes. I clean my neighbor's desk, and my neighbor doesn't even sit next to me because I want a clean space. Other things, yes. Time blocking. That's one of my favorites, time blocking, yes. I make a lot of my new people take classes on time blocking. And one more, anything else?
Being selfish with my time.
Yes, be selfless with your time. You are number one. No matter what, you are number one. And I hope, yes?
More short-term goals.
More short-term goals, yes.
My goals are very long-term, and that makes it easy to lose sight of them over time. But
Yeah.
this is making me a lot more introspective about things to do now.
Yes, so you have your big goals, right? And each of those big goals is made up of little goals, more little goals, more little goals, right? How do they all lead to this big goal? So yes, 100%. Little goals equal those big goals. Any others? Yes?
Make fewer goals.
Make fewer goals. Yes, if you can streamline your goals, remove some of the stuff that maybe it doesn't matter anymore. Maybe it mattered when you were in high school or when you were a kid. How many Pokemon cards can I collect, right? I need to be at 1,000 Pokemon cards. Do you need it now? Is that still maybe it is. Maybe it is. But what are your current goals? They change over time. So remove those goals that no longer matter. And if you enjoyed this presentation, please connect with me on one of these sites. I am working on my cyberchristy.com. I have a free AZ900 course. It didn't have the instant feedback this morning, but maybe it will today. But it's free. You can come with me and see my journey as I've learned to make YouTube videos. I've made 92 videos that say you're not there till you hit 100. So I'm almost there. But connect with me, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you at the next ISSA meeting.